party blogger and joy strategist from chasing-joy.com, and I am here to give you guys my weekly bump date or my pregnancy update. I am 37 weeks and 4 days, I think, pregnant as a single mom by choice. Finally finding success after almost 2.5 years of fertility journey. Ultimately finding success in IVF after having an ERA. So that's the real quick history. This week I am giving you guys an update on weeks 36 and 37. These are supposed to be weekly updates, but I have a good excuse why I missed last week, because I was tired and I was 36 weeks pregnant, and that just happens sometimes. So I'm gonna do, like I said, 36 and 37 in this video. In terms of stats, right now the apps say at 37 weeks and 4 days, the baby is the size of a honeydew. And the apps say about 6 pounds. Well, I had an ultrasound last week, week 36, and my baby was already estimated at 7 pounds, 5 ounces. But that's a give or take 15% margin of error. So the baby could be 15% smaller, or at that time last week, the baby could have been 15% smaller or 15% bigger. I'm hoping smaller since I still have a couple weeks to go. If you hear noise in the background, it's just the cats. I've locked them out of the room so that they don't come in here and like knock the camera down. They love to come in here. I'm in the baby's room. I think I did show you guys the room already. Still waiting on my brother to come do curtains for me. He's gonna do them tomorrow, and that'll really be it. Then just waiting on the baby to come in here. But they love to be in this room, I think because I don't let them in. So I haven't even planned to talk about cats in this video, but I will briefly, since I'm thinking about it. Because I have 2 cats, I did do a little research because I have had friends who got rid of their cats when they had a baby, and I love my cats, and they're both rescues. One from the SPCA here in Philadelphia, and the other rescued from my vet directly. So, you know, I picked them because I love them and want them, so obviously I don't want to have to get rid of them. So I did a little research, and one of the main things that was said was don't allow the cats on the baby's things before the baby. So I let them come in this room sometimes just because I don't, you know, the more you keep them out of something, the more they want to be in there. So I let them come in here if I'm in here, but I don't allow them to get on the crib, any of the furniture, change table, any of that. And the reason in my research that I discovered is because if they get on stuff first, their scent gets on it, and then they think it's theirs. And I had a friend who had cats and had even fostered kittens, but when she had a baby, they kept peeing on the baby's things, and so she had to get rid of those cats, and then she ultimately got a new cat that didn't do that. And I think that maybe those cats had somehow gotten onto the baby's things before the baby, and so they were peeing on it to like put their scent on it again, because like they're animals and they communicate with like scents. So I'm really careful to not let them on anything. And I have my pack and play up downstairs in my living room. It's covered so they can't get to it. Strollers covered, everything's covered. Once baby's here, I won't be as uptight. You know, I mean, obviously I don't want them crawling all over everything, but I think once the baby's on it first, it won't be as big of an issue with the whole scent thing. So anyway, totally got off topic immediately. Anyway, that's kind of my plan in terms of the cats. Cross my fingers, pray for me that it works well. Because I'd be heartbroken to have to not be able to keep them after the baby comes. Anyway, back to the original topic. So I'll do stats first, and then I'll get into interesting things and highs and lows of the last 2 weeks. So cravings, I've been craving more sweets, and I think it's just because I can't have them because of the gestational diabetes, and I'm getting closer to being done with that, and it's like I want them more. So that's been challenging. That's pretty much the only craving. Other than that, I haven't had a taste for anything, which is also a challenge, because then it's hard to figure out what to eat when you don't really want anything, but you know you need to eat. My sleep has been pretty good, with the exception of I'm back to waking up quite frequently to go to the bathroom now, like about every 2 to 3 hours to go pee. Pretty much now at this point in pregnancy, every time I stand up, I feel like I have to pee, even if I just went. So sometimes I'll just like ignore it because I know there's hardly anything in my bladder, and then sometimes I can't and I have to go. So that's an annoying symptom, probably one of the most annoying symptoms. I still have some shortness of breath that you guys can probably hear when I'm like talking a lot. Like just then I had to take a deep breath to catch my breath. Other symptoms, my left knee has really been bothering me. It's actually more my hamstring. Whenever I've been sitting for a while, or even in the morning when I wake up and I go to put weight on it, my hamstring is so tight that it makes my leg hurt, and I have to like limp kind of, put most of my weight on my right leg until it kind of loosens up, and then I can stretch. So I'm hoping that resolves soon. Yeah, I think it's just from the ligaments and things being all loose, getting increasingly loose because of closer to labor, and the hormones do that. And this extra weight of the baby and everything, and I'm probably walking funny. I try really hard to walk in with good posture and not to do the waddle, but sometimes you can't help it. Other pregnancy symptoms, just tired. One day last week, toward the end of the week, I was home and it was evening, and I just felt like I wanted to cry. I just felt so like weepy, and I was like thinking about it, and like I realized nothing was wrong. I wasn't even sad about anything. I was just tired. I was overtired, and I'll get into why in a moment. But tiredness is still definitely a symptom. I think that's pretty much it. Overall, I feel good, and yeah, I feel pretty good. Other than messed up knee, peeing all the time, shortness of breath, and tired. So it could be worse. So I think I'm doing pretty good. What else? My medications have changed. So I have the gestational diabetes, and I have to call in my blood sugars. I take my blood sugar 4 times a day, fasting, then 2 hours after breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then I call them in once a week to the nurse. And last week, week 36, when I called them in, 5 out of 7 of my fasting blood sugars were too high. So I'll confess, I had not been as diligent as I should have been. But also some of them just were high, and I couldn't even figure out why. So they put me on insulin now. So I'm injecting insulin every night. 0.6 is a very low dose, and it's to help my fasting numbers. And so far this week, that's been successful. I think I only had one morning where it was too high, and that was because the day before I gave in and had fast food. went to McDonald's. I haven't been to McDonald's in months. And yeah, so my dinner was super high. And then it was still high the next day of the fasting. So yeah, won't be doing that again, but at least there was an explanation. But yes, I'm on insulin now, so that's the change. Other than that, everything's still the same. The Synthroid for my thyroid, prenatal baby aspirin, vitamins C, D, and E. And for a long time I was taking niacin, and I ran out, and then I bought a new bottle and haven't been able to find it. I don't know where I put it. That was weeks ago, so apparently I'm not taking that anymore. But insulin really is the big change, and I was a little nervous about it, but so far so good. I feel fine. I don't feel any different, except the numbers are a little better, so I don't feel as stressed over them. And the nurse was happy when I called them in this week. What else? So, who have I told? So officially now, I think every video I say, officially everybody knows I'm pregnant, and then the next video I realize someone else is like surprised. But we had my job threw me a baby shower this week, which was great. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, then you saw I posted just a couple of photos. I'm gonna post some more later, so please check me out over there. But so many people were like, I didn't know you were pregnant. And it's one thing when men say it, but when a woman says it, it kind of messes with my head a little bit, because I feel like, do you think this is what like my belly looks like all the time? But you know, I have to realize most time at work I do sit at my desk, and so they probably just didn't notice, and people don't pay a mind, but it does mess with my head a little bit. But now I feel like everybody knows, because there was a shower, invitation went out, all that. Yeah, and now even today a neighbor asked me when was I due. I'm not super friendly with my neighbors. I tend to be more quiet, just in my house, and you know, come and go. But a neighbor asked, so I think officially everybody knows, which is good, since I mean I have less than a month to still be pregnant, so it's about time everybody really knew. Purchases. Oh, I can show you this. I made a few purchases, but like what's nearby. So I bought this keepsake box, which is cute. It says Dream Big Little One, and it's like the navy blue, which is appropriate for the room. You guys can see. And when you open it, it has a place for his first outfit, his first curl, first tooth, hospital bracelet, different treasures, and first shoes. And so it's funny when the first curl, I was like, do black people do that? Do we save the hair? Because I didn't know anybody did it, but then my one friend, she said her mom saved her brother's hair because it did grow very long. So I guess it depends. So we'll see how my son's hair grows. And it's like I keep it braided or something when he's really little, if we will do the first curl. But yeah, I was like, do black people do that? I don't know if we do that, but some of us. So I have that nearby. And other purchases that are not nearby. What did I buy? I bought a heavier blanket because it's been taking so long to get warm here in Philly. It's finally a little bit warm today, but I'm like, oh, I was thinking it would be hotter about it when he would be born into the month. And I said, well, in case he's not, I got a heavier blanket that I can put over top of him once he's in the car seat in case it's cool. What else did I buy? I bought, I don't know, I'm drawing a complete blank. Anyway, I don't remember what else I bought, but I've received more gifts. People have been so generous. I mean, I'm just blown away. You guys have been so generous. You send me gifts, and I can't thank you enough. I really hope you all are able to see my Instagram stories, because I tend to post the thank yous there, because I can do it pretty quickly and not have to like do a lot of editing. But you guys have been so awesome, and I really appreciate it so much. And people at work were generous. People from my church were generous. It's just been Just a really amazing experience of being on the receiving end of so much kindness and generosity. It's amazing. So I received more gifts. So literally, I feel like every time I open my mouth and say, I only thing I need is blah, 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 I get blah, blah, blah like the next day. So I now have a swing. I had purchased a baby monitor that didn't work, so I returned it. And then my friend bought me a baby monitor. I have the rocking. I literally have every large thing that I wanted for the baby, except for the car seat, the what do you call it? The convertible car seat for when they're bigger, and I don't need that yet. And there's no place for it right now anyway. But it's been really amazing. So received lots of gifts, clothes and things like that. So that's been awesome. So I'll get into highlights and lowlights. So last week, week 36. So the highlight of week 36 was I can't even remember. I would say Thursday when I finished all of my crazy doctor's appointments. And the low light of the week was the fact that I ended up with 7. I'm holding up my fingers so you know that, like, I'm not miscounting. 7 doctor's appointments in 1 week. It was insane. So really quickly, what happened was I now do the non-stress test twice a week, which you guys already know that. We've talked about that. At the OB practice that I go to, there are like 5 doctors, and they want you to meet with everyone. Well, there was one doctor left that I'd not met with, and they said, well, to meet with her, you have to come on a Tuesday. Yes, I think it was a Tuesday. But my non-stress tests are on Monday and Thursday. So normally they put the OB appointment and the non-stress test together, but couldn't do that. So that made 3 appointments. So starting out, there were supposed to be 3 appointments in 1 week, which is plenty. And I was okay with that because I felt like if I didn't meet the doctor, be my luck that would be the doctor when I went into labor, and then I would feel like it was a stranger. So at least I had said, you know what, I'll do the 3 appointments in 1 week and I'll meet her. So starting out, 3 appointments. Then I told you guys weeks ago the high-risk doctor wanted the baby to have echocardiogram of his heart, like a special ultrasound of his heart, or fetal echo, I think that's what they call it, because IVF babies have higher risk of heart problems. So they ended up calling and making an appointment for the same week. So I'm like, okay, so that's 4 appointments in 1 week. Okay, that's a bit much. Then about 2 weeks ago, we had snow unexpectedly, and the snow came on a day when I was supposed to go to the cardiologist. Because if you guys remember, the high-risk doctor also wanted me to see a cardiologist because of the symptom I had with the heart palpitations with the hot flash. So when the snow came, that appointment got canceled and rescheduled for last week. So then we were up to 5 appointments in 1 week, which is crazy. So I started the week with 5 appointments. So yeah, crazy, and none of them overlapped. So I was like, all right, well, let's just do this, soldier through. So started out Monday, I went for my cardiology appointment and the non-stress test. My cardiology appointment went good. My EKG was normal, but the doctor, I really did like this doctor a lot, actually. He was very nice, and he said how they see pregnant women a lot, that it's very common. And then he said, so he doesn't think it's anything to worry about. It probably just resolve when the pregnancy's over. And I have not had that symptom for a while now, several weeks. But he said, but just to, we can do one more thing to be more cautious. So I want you to have an echocardiogram, which is an ultrasound of my heart. So basically the same test they wanted for the baby, also for me. So he said, well, schedule that on the way out. So on the way out, I go to schedule it. She scheduled it for the same week. So then I was up to 6 appointments. So then I went to the non-stress test. That one I think was Ended up being kind of comical because I keep trying to find different foods or pattern of eating before the stress test or during the stress test, because what happens is they want the baby to move around while he's on the heart rate monitor so they can see how his heart responds to movement, if it elevates properly, how ours would if we were exercising. So I decided to eat some grapefruit, like a grapefruit cup, you know, in the liquid, but I got the non-sugar added or no added sugar. And apparently that made him super hyper. Which I was thinking, oh, that's good because I can feel him moving a lot. But the problem was they want to see I guess they want to calculate the difference in the heart rate between like him chilling and him moving around. And they couldn't get it because he was so active. So think of it like if I'm sitting down right now and they measure my heart rate, and then I get up and like run around the house and measure it, there's going to be a big difference that's measurable. Versus if I'm already running around the house, or say like I'm already jogging and then I sprint, the difference in my heart rate is not going to be as significant as if I were resting. So him being so active, the difference between when he wasn't moving around and when he was not high enough. So it's like, great, like I can't win for losing with these stress tests. But eventually they got what they needed and everything was fine. So that was Monday. Tuesday, I went for his echocardiogram, and that kind of pissed me off. It went well, you know, and it really took a long time, and I could see the difference between that ultrasound versus the others. Like, they really spent like 30 minutes just looking at his heart and even listening to the heartbeat from like different chambers of the heart and different arteries coming from the heart. So very much more in depth than just listen to the heartbeat and like looking at the heart. So after it's over, they're like, oh, wait here, the doctor will be in like a few minutes. I wait, maybe 10 minutes later, the doctor comes in. And he starts out and he's like, well, everything looks good. We don't see anything to be concerned about. I'm like, great. Then he says, but, you know, this is really late in pregnancy for you to be having this test. And by 36 weeks, you know, his bones are mostly like solid, so it casts shadows. And we really can't see everything that we would really like to see. So basically, he gave a disclaimer. So he's like, everything looks good, but like, I don't really know. So I was just kind of pissed off because I'm thinking, like, why make me be stressed out about having to have the test if you're not going to be able to give me a conclusive answer to make me now not be stressed? So I was just annoyed with that. But I'm just thinking positive that they didn't see anything wrong. And like I said, they had looked at his heart so many times that I think he's fine. I really do. But that did annoy me. So that was Tuesday. So that was Tuesday morning. And then I left there and went to the OB. So I met the last OB. She was nice. I do like all of them. There's only one I like the least, but they're all fine, which is good. So whoever is the one on call when I deliver, I'll be fine with. So that way, 4 appointments down. So then the other thing happened. So like I said, I calmed my blood sugars, and on Monday, so on Tuesday, the nurse called back and said, well, you know, we want you to do insulin, like I already told you guys. And then she says, make an appointment for the insulin training. And I just had to laugh. I said, okay, that makes 7 appointments in 1 week. So I called for the appointment, and the insulin, the diabetes training center, or whatever they want to call it, is in the same building where the OB is. So I ended up saying, hey, well, I'll be at that location later today, you know. So they squeezed me in. So I did 5 appointments in 2 days. So Monday and Tuesday were just crazy. Wednesday, I went back for the ultrasound of my heart, and that result ended up being that everything was normal, which is good. And actually, in hindsight, I'm glad I went to the cardiologist because I didn't realize how stressed I was about it, because until after I went and they told me everything's fine, I've been sleeping so much better. So I think I was really bothered by that symptom. So in hindsight, I am glad that I got checked out. It's just crazy that it was all 1 week. So that made Wednesday. Then Thursday, I went for the other non-stress test for the baby, and then that completed all of my doctor's appointments. So you can understand why I was so tired last week, because I still went to work every day. So I still went to work every day. And then on Saturday, I did my last meetup with Chasing Joy, because I do have a membership program for Chasing Joy. In addition to this YouTube channel, there's a blog and social media, and there's a Facebook group. And really the mission of Chasing Joy is to encourage women to make happiness a priority in their life before they're unhappy, and to make them feel empowered and encouraged to go after the happy, joyful life that they want, whatever, no matter what that looks like. So that's why I share my single mother by choice journey, because it is non-traditional, but that's the route I needed to take for my own happiness to experience being a mom. So that's kind of how it all ties in. But anyway, so I did have a meetup with some of the members on Saturday, so I did that too. So it was a tiresome week, so that's why I didn't do the video last week. But ultimately, it was a good week because all those doctor's appointments resulted in good news. Everything is fine with me and the baby. And the one interesting thing that did happen, I almost forgot, that the OB told me that now, because I'm on insulin, they will not allow me to go past my due date. So baby Joy Chaser, my little guy, will be here in 15 days or less, because it's